Recording is on.
And we are live. Welcome everyone to another episode of You Know What, Let Me Just Say podcast. I'm your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
Burn it down.
And also we got Tony. And since you said burn it down, I do want to talk about wrestling a little bit since we're wrestling fans. How do y'all feel about this build up to Night of Champions?
We'll build up.
Well, let's just say like how every belt. That's a good question. That probably should be most every belt is being on the line. Braun and Seth Rollins tag team champions, so they got to do twice in one night. They're gonna be fighting. I think who the Revival.
Yeah, then they're supposed to
No,
fight each other, right?
no. Okay, so
No, Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode.
yeah,
Dolph,
yeah. There you go.
yeah, Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode, and then they got to fight each other. I think Sasha Banks is going after the Raw title. Oh, they dropping in and out. And Bailey and who's it? Charlotte. How y'all feel about that?
You said who in Charlotte?
Bailey and Charlotte.
Okay, so first of all, someone said that Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch should main event, and I agree that they should main event Night of Champions. Also, in regards to Charlotte versus Bailey, that kind of came out of nowhere because Charlotte was like, because when Bailey won the title, Charlotte was kind of like out of the picture, low key, and then she just comes back and she gets a title shot. Like what? It's like
that's how they've been doing it lately. Like people just walk in and go, "I want a title shot." It's like you got it, dude. And then technically that's how Sasha got hers, but you kind of want to see Sasha and Becky. Like that feud is very interesting.
yeah, but the difference with Sasha is that she was gone since WrestleMania. She comes back to and her pop is fucking huge because no one done forgot about her. And then she turns heel, which I've been bitching about for 3 years. She does that, and now she basically has WWE in the palm of her hand. Everybody's talking about her. You know what I'm saying? And because she has that momentum, it'll be obvious to give her the title shot, especially since she done fucked up Natalia and fucked up Becky Lynch now on multiple occasions. Give her that title shot.
Yeah, but she always get injured though. That's why I hate, man. She always get injured. She every time she win a belt, she never win her rematches. She always get injured and shit.
I mean, yeah, that's what being on the road like 200 plus days a year do to you. Sometimes
Yeah,
you just because your body don't have that proper rest. Right after a night, you probably got to get in your car and drive there. Because people like John Cena got their own bus. Them niggas got their own bus. So like, once you get to that level, you'll be fine. But the rest of them either got to drive or take a plane, and that shit could be hella tiring, especially if you're going from they usually do coastal shows. Like if they're in South Carolina one night, they'll probably be in like Austin the next, something like that. So
Austin, they be rolling up. Sorry, I didn't know you was talking to somebody.
go ahead.
oh no, I was done.
Oh yeah.
Well, at least with this, you can at least say that because I think Booker T said it. It's like sometimes when you're like gone for a long time, so like there's people like that will fill in and replace you. So it shows that one, Sasha's not that easily replaceable because to be honest, when she was gone, people was thinking like the women's revolution was kind of trash. But as soon as like Sasha comes back and turns heel, it's some life right back into the women's wrestling movement because which kind of made me feel bad for Becky because like I think the man gimmick has gone real stale, or it's just like a lot of people just like tired of seeing her at in these matches and like wants someone else to like have the reign. So I think a heel Sasha reign would be good, and hopefully she can hold the title for more than a month. Because I got right now, I got Sasha beating Becky because I just think Sasha can like with the heel, just like NXT can like spark some heel good matches and some heel promos. So she can like I feel like she deserved a long title reign. So what about you?
Nah,
Hey,
nah. She needs to
I
win that
think
title.
that I think that they both gonna have the belts. Sasha Bank and Bailey gonna have the belts.
I do too because I got Bailey beating Charlotte, but at the same time, every time every time I got Charlotte losing, she wins. So, but at the same time, I don't want her to kind of win.
Yeah, I don't. It wouldn't make sense for Charlotte to win. Bailey's having a pretty good title run, and also another thing is if Sasha wins, the shit that she just did with Bailey is going to be worth it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be like an empty, thing that they did. It'll actually solidify that okay, we the top of the division now, and we gonna help. They're basically gonna be like top tier iconics. Like if like everything the iconics wanted to be. So I think that Sasha should definitely win that title. And plus, this is heel Sasha we're talking about. If NXT was an indication of what she could do with that title as a heel, if she wins that title, bruh, niggas is gonna be watching Raw just to see her.
Unless they have
Right, and not
unless
to,
unless they have Nia Jax's creep in and start doing some stupid stuff. That could be a storyline too.
Oh, Nia Jax. Oh Lord. I love Nia Jax. I think okay, first of all, that is a beautiful ass woman. First of all.
Yes, she is.
Second of all, bruh, it's like I want to see her win and I want to do so well, but the shit that they be having her doing is embarrassing. Like that. Remember when she was fucking getting bullied by fucking Alexa Bliss? Like,
Yeah,
bitch,
that
if
was
you don't
stupid.
belly flop her skinny ass, what? I'm talking about, and she had a meltdown when she found out that she wasn't her friend, and then they did that whole Nia Jax angry bullshit. I was like, what are y'all doing? And then like they turned her heel, but then they try to make her like a diva. I was like, bruh, that's not. Yeah, I heard you, mom. Okay, bye. So anyway, what was I saying? Bro, trying to be fucking African mothers. But anyway, Nia Jax, I do not like the directions that they be giving her, like that whole like one day she's getting bullied and then the next day she's the face breaker or whatever, and then she's acting like a total diva. Like, nah, have she's very simple. Have her go out in the ring, buzz some bitches, and that's it. She don't need all that extra shit.
yo, they should have stuck with that face breaker shit, and then not ruin it with having Becky drop her. Not only drop her, but like act like drop her and then like make her like tumble over like some like paperweight. I was like, Naya is like 6'2" or six
Yeah,
foot six
Yes,
two. I was like, it's
she's
gonna
a
take more than
very
a damn punch. Yeah, I was like,
very
come
big
on,
woman.
man. I hit my little boozy. Come on, dog. Come on.
Come on now,
Come
dog.
on. Like, we not doing this. We not. I love the face break. And the face breaking shit was working for her too, because it's like it's realistic. She punched Beck and made her fucking nose break and broke her nose. It's like honestly, I think they should have like not let Becky and Nia. I know she's like injured now, but not touch each other like they done a match, and then that'd have been better for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Also,
you.
on women,
What y'all think about that?
but
What you think about the Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan thing?
First of all, that storyline is funny. That whole storyline is funny to me.
I think it was kind of weak a little bit. I think it was just doing too much.
Yeah,
But yeah, but oh boy, he started talking. So he rarely talked in the ring, even when he was Bray Wyatt and all that. It's kind of good he's out of character and talking, doing his own thing.
yeah. And the reason why I say it's funny
okay,
is because when Daniel Bryan smacked the shit out of Rowan, I died. He smacked the shit out
it
that.
went. It went to me. It went from good to stupid. Then okay, wow. But I'm glad for Eric Rowan because like he's a big boy. And like Wallace, when he's like slapped the shit out of Eric Rowan, I like died. I'm like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. He's like twice as high, and Daniel Bryan's just slapping the shit out. I don't like liars.
I don't like liars.
Daniel
Yeah,
Bryan
that
is
thing
like
that was wild. That was
yeah,
wild.
Daniel Bryan is the best part of this feud.
Yes.
He is the best part. But
You
that
know
and
I don't
Eric Rowan talking, that shit kind of surprised me, and I thought it was good. I said, "Wow, they're gonna if they make him a monster." I was like, "This is great, but it's too late." And also, I think they tried to give him a new gimmick, or theme song, and that shit was just like, "What the fuck am I hearing?" It's like, just keep his like the one he had when he was like trying to go solo. That shit was like
Yeah, I
nice.
like that one. That one was actually decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was telling everybody that was really good, and but what I heard, I don't know if they're really going with that. I said, I hope they're not going with that. That shit was kind of trash.
Talking about the song that played after SmackDown.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all I heard. Dun, 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 dun. It didn't sound right. It was like and I was like, what the fuck is this I'm hearing? And I was like, that better not be his damn theme song. But also staying on the y'all heard about my girl Alicia Fox? Like
Well,
that
I
she's been
heard
like um she's she's an alcoholic for one, and like I
still.
think yeah, and it's kind of like fucked up her. She's been like off the show for like indefinite. I don't know. I think she's been suspended or some shit like that. I
Yeah,
think
cause
one
she
is
showed, cause she showed up at a show and she was drunk, backstage, and they sent her home.
Yeah,
Now,
I read
now
about
they
that
saying
one.
that they're gonna put her into her alcohol. What's her name?
a rehabilitation. She was supposed to go to rehab, and she tried to like deny it and some shit. So I think
Yeah,
now they really try to put her in rehab.
Yeah, because you don't realize they ain't do no Alicia Fox for years, man. She won the title twice, like in the two
once,
thousands.
Once,
Once
once.
I thought it was twice, but once, and they ain't do nothing with her.
okay, they said okay. There was a here's the thing. I heard there was a news. They was like, I think around like there was a time they was going to give her a push, and then her alcoholism like fucked it up. Like I can sort of believe that, but at the same time, nah.
Yeah, because they
I
ain't
don't.
brought new wrestlers in so many times and made them the face, and all she was like the gimmick wearing the little what had she, the sailor hat or whatever, and the little cane, and
Yeah,
just did like soft promos. Or she was the person that you know wrestled the little small matches with everybody when he got their snacks and stuff.
yeah. But I would say this, and I've always said this. I think Alicia Fox is a very underrated wrestler, and I feel like nobody sees that but me. And but I've also said no one. I was like, she does one of the prettiest Northern Light suplexes that I've ever seen with the
And backwards.
bridge.
Yeah,
Her
But
toast
I
going
feel like
backwards
since
was
she was
pretty
in
good
that
too.
Divas era, I feel like since she was in that Divas era, like she's kind of been looked over, just like Naomi. But I think everybody knew Naomi was an athlete, but it's like Alicia Fox can like go. I've seen her put
yeah, she
good match.
can.
Like she put on a good match with Nia Jax when they was pushing Nia.
Yeah, yeah.
And Yeah, but you know, some people, I don't know, I know some wrestling fans don't like her, but I love Alicia Fox. I always thought she was like, she's a gem. Oh, I don't want to say diamond in the rough, but she got something, and I feel like if the alcohol doesn't really get to her first, they should like give her a push.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know. There was some dumbass nigga on Twitter talking about she's a legend, and I'm like, whoa, slow your roll there. You know, I think
He may say she was a legend because she did a lot of big things when she first started. Now she just they ain't doing nothing at all.
but even so, like one title, that's not legendary. I'm sorry, that's just not
That's
legendary.
Mark Henry did the same thing too. How many times he won a title? Once?
No, he didn't win the title once.
Yeah,
Are you talking about the world
The
title?
World Heavyweight Championship.
yeah. Sexual
You
chocolate
talking about
guy.
the World?
Yeah, didn't he only won it like once?
He's won other titles too, though. Like I know he's been a tag champ.
He
I know
was.
He's
about a
been
tag champ.
in the
If you want to
Continental
count,
champ.
but you can also technically count the ECW World Championship too. He won that.
Yeah, he won that. It's like, but
One of
like this, like Mark Henry. Don't get me wrong. This loved Mark Henry, and like when he did the World's Strongest Man shit or Hall of Pain, like he was bringing in money for events because like Mark Henry
Yeah,
was doing.
especially the match
But
between him and the Big Show.
yeah, I wouldn't. But I would, as much as I love Alicia Fox, yeah, I wouldn't call her a legend either. But I do
yeah,
think she's put in her dues. That's what I'm gonna say. She's put in her time, but
yeah. She has time, but she's not legendary, not yet. She got to do
yeah,
a whole
she's
lot more
like
shit to
Vince.
be legendary.
Yep.
She's like Vince Carter. Like, like you put in your time, but you know, I'm pretty sure there was others. We'll name others before you. Okay. On to the next topic. Father, you want to talk about South Africa and xenophobia?
Yeah. All right. So the past couple of days, it was trending on Twitter that the South African citizens are like um, really terrorizing and brutalizing immigrants, the specifically Nigerian immigrants, but the others among them include Zimbabwe and what's that other one? There was another country I can't remember right now, but the main ones are Nigerians, and
Mm-hmm.
basically it all started when allegedly an immigrant killed a South African taxi driver, and they killed the taxi driver, and apparently it was over drugs. It was because the South African taxi driver didn't want them selling drugs, and he said something about it, and then the guy ended up killing him. So because of that, there has been outrage by the citizens of South Africa saying, "Oh, these immigrants, all they do is they take our money, they take our jobs, basically Trump shit." And they started looting. They started killing like Nigerian people over in South Africa. There was a few people that died because of this outrage. So right now they're doing this whole no xenophobia, stop the xenophobia movement over there. And I, for one, think it's really sad that as African people, you would consider another African an immigrant, but you won't fucking you dare not say anything about about the white people over in South Africa that don't
I'm
took your
already
land and own 85% of the country.
I thought I grabbed Williamson jump.
So
I'm
like
gonna bring you Williamson. I'm gonna
it's
sign mine.
hypocritical to me that South Africans will pop off on Nigerians before they pop off on
Bring
people
me, bring
who
me,
literally
just bring
subjugated
me
them in a
68.
system of apartheid, which Nigerian actually helped them to get out of, because they actually gave South Africa money to stop apartheid. So I just find that it's funny that they would do that to those people.
Switch vehicles. Something's grabbing it up vehicle.
Yo, that's a lot.
Huh?
Yeah,
Come on.
like
That's a
Trevor
lot.
Noah said something about it too. Trevor Noah said something about it too. He basically said the same thing like I just said. Like you would rather fucking fight fight other Africans than fight the white people that subjugated you. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because like it was about this time around this time say a year ago, they was trying to kick all the white people out of South Africa. It was like, what changed?
No, that wasn't trying to kick them out. That was a political party.
Oh, that was a political party.
There was a political party saying that if they're elected, they're going to remove the land away from the whites. And then they lost the election. So, hey.
That explains why I didn't see no more on that because them white folks was like ready to die for their land, and like it looked like they was like preparing for the worst. But shoot, it's but about that, it's crazy because I feel like the same problems they having over there, like we have over here. Like sometimes we're not on code, and like the people who we supposed to be fighting, we don't end up fighting, and the people who we should be fighting gets away scot free.
Right.
So basically, how do you think they're going to deal with this?
Well, first of all, they're dealing with it wrong. They need to stop. Like all of them just need to stop and really look at the bigger picture here because ain't no one stealing no jobs or nothing like that. As a matter of fact, the immigrants are only like what 0.1? No, not 0.1. They said like what 4% of the population, I think. Because South Africa population is 54 million, and immigrants are like 1.6 million, I believe. So they're not, they're not a huge. They're a minority. They're not stealing shit. All the white folks got this shit. So what are you talking about that they're stealing your jobs? No, they're not. The white people already done stole your fucking land, and then you talk about a Nigerian stole your job? No. Despite the attitudes towards Nigeria, because Nigeria is a whole nother motherfucking rant. It's a whole another motherfucking subject. And that's coming out of love. I do love my Nigerians, but we gotta tell the truth here. But I don't like how this narrative is being pushed that, because you are not from our country or you are not from our tribe, you can't, kick it with us. That shouldn't really be a thing. You know what I'm saying? The way Africa was divided up and colonized back in the day, and how there are countries that have had independence for about 60 years now, that's not the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the Chinese and everyone trying to come in and taking our shit too, and how certain tech companies literally rely on Africa to sell their shit. Like, we really have to rethink our political, knowledge about these things, because the fact that you would fight your own African brother then go after these fucking white supremacists in your country says a lot about what failed within your country. Like, let's just be honest. Like, that's a failure. That's a major failure on your part.
My bad, my niece is.
My bag is gone.
Any last words on that? Because I think you done covered everything.
I kind of want to get your thoughts on it. Like, everything you heard, like, what do you think about it?
I thought that wasn't it in South Africa they was getting rid of the white people that was down there a long time, like last year or something like that.
Yeah, they wanted to get the
Uh,
land back. There was a political party that wanted to get the land back away from them. That was like their whole
Yeah.
stance. But then they lost the elections. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, but I never even heard of none of the stuff you said, but I was just listening. But that's crazy though.
That's bro, like
like
it doesn't make any sense.
it doesn't. Yeah, well, yeah. Like you said, for one, it doesn't make any sense because uh, the immigrants barely make up 5% of your community, so they're not the ones trying to take your jobs. Also, hey, also, like I said, you shouldn't be like y'all shouldn't they shouldn't be fighting each other, especially when you still got people in white people in South Africa that won't let you go into certain properties. Like they try to keep part of that whites only and all that other stuff. So on in South Africa, which is to me still like the most baffling thing ever. Like y'all got neighborhoods and towns that y'all try to keep white and all that other stuff, and like
On
this
the
ain't your
land that
land.
doesn't belong to you.
Yeah, on a land that doesn't belong to you, and that's still like I was like if I knew it was a political party, I would have hoped like them dudes would have won because I would have loved to see how that went down. But I know it would have probably like not going as smoothly as I would have thought because there's gonna be some like ruckus. Like I said, no white people were preparing to go to like if it did happen. No white people was preparing themselves for a fight because they was gonna die on the land that's not theirs. So, um, and like you said, like they're going at it all wrong. It's like they're not the enemy. You know who the enemy is. You should go after. You know who the enemy is. You know who you need to go after. You should go after them.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's fear. Honestly, I think it's fear. That's why the EFF didn't get fucking elected because the citizens were scared. Like, ain't nothing to be scared of. What the fuck you got left to lose? They own 85% of your country. What do you have to lose?
I did not
So
know that.
yeah, like they should. And
I
Trevor Noah
did.
broke that down. Trevor Noah broke all of that shit down. He said, yeah, like the white people, they own like most of the wealth on a land that's not theirs. But y'all are fighting Nigerians. That makes absolutely no sense. And then they're talking about, no, we're not fighting Nigerians, we're fighting the criminals. Bull motherfucking shit. Because if y'all was truly
Yeah,
fighting the
that sounds like
criminals,
bullshit.
those white people would not be in your country right now. Let's just keep it a buck. Ain't no such thing as a white South African. I'm sorry. You can miss me with that. You can miss me with that. You motherfuckers are Dutch. Then you came over there because they done subjugated the people, and then your people immigrated over there because it was popping. You built your wealth off the blood of people that were there first. And then you're gonna sit there and call yourself a South African. Suck my motherfucking dick.
Shoot. Well, I guess I hope things get settled because next thing you know, if not, the white people's gonna be taking over. I don't know the Mandarin because I know Chinese people trying to take over Africa. I know they taking over parts of Jamaica, and I know they took over like some parts of Africa. So if they don't work on something, it's gonna be owned by one or the other. That's my opinion on it. Um, Also, remember yesterday we was talking about the straight pride parade, and I was like, well, today because Antifa and them was there, and they was trying to cause a big ruckus, and Antifa anytime like when there's a big ass march, Antifa is there, and they're like beating like people up that doesn't agree with their terms and all that other stuff. So like I guess they got arrested at that straight pride parade, and the judge is not like posting bail on them. It's like they're putting them through trial. So I was wondering, like, what are your thoughts on Antifa?
You know what? That's a good question because I never like I never really understood what Antifa really was. Apparently, they like oppose the right. I believe is that what they
Hmm.
do? Like okay,
Yeah,
so
they oppose the right.
yeah, they oppose the right, but they're like radical. They're like radical as fuck.
Yeah,
With like they'll burn your house down and
very.
shit. I'm like,
Police. What the damn
what the hell?
Yeah,
Yeah, every time I see them, I'm like, what the hell? And then, apparently they don't like that Nazi shit. They don't like that KKK shit. Which is commendable. But I always thought of them as, hey, they ain't attacking me, so I'm just gonna let them be. Like I ain't never really heard anybody in Antifa doing anything or saying anything that wasn't in black people's interest. So I just kind of like let them do whatever they want.
okay. My opinion about Antifa is they hurt more than they help, and I've always felt that way. So, you remember, obviously, I think I told this story. You remember when Donald Trump got elected, and y'all knew that I was going down there for inauguration just to check the shit out.
Yeah,
And in that march, and I told y'all I saw niggas in all black, but they were white people. It's just white people in all black, and they looked like they was about to do some shit. Come to find out, that was fucking Antifa. And I'm like, oh, that shit. Like when I just realized this when I was like looking up this straight pride parade shit. I was like, because sometimes they're in all black and like they're over there beating people up, and not just cops. Like they'll fight cops and then they'll fight the people opposing. And like to me, when I looked at that, I was like, oh shit, it's them guys. And they was the ones that was like trashing DC and all that other stuff. So I've always told people I don't like Antifa because I think Antifa is trying to be Black Panthers, but doing it all fucking wrong. Because the thing about anytime people take with Black Panthers is like, or the Muslim, how the most of the Muslims ran is like they're peaceful until you fuck with them, and like if you fuck with them, then they're going to retaliate. That's how the Black Panthers rode. That's how most of the Muslims rode, and all that other stuff. And that's why when people
you
say they
talking
was
about
terror,
the Nation of Islam?
yeah, the Nation of Islam. Excuse me. Yeah, that's how because the Nation of Islam and the Black Panthers they was like the same. It was except the Black Panthers like they legally got the guns. Like everything the Black Panthers did, it was like in legal. Um, it was in within the law. They never did stuff outside of the law.
Yeah,
And like if they like had to go somewhere with the guns, then like they would, and only only if they told you to. Like the Black Panther Party was really like run like a party and all that other stuff.
yeah.
And I feel like Antifa tries to beat them, but they got it all wrong and they got it real fucked up. And I've also said, like if they keep beating people up without being attacked, I can understand if they antagonize first. It's like the opposing people antagonize first, and Antifa's there to like protect them. Then I agree, but sometimes Antifa they be there starting shit, and I've told people it's like that's not how you get shit done. You don't need to be starting shit, especially like if stuff is if the protest is peaceful, and sometimes like they will do something and then they'll get arrested. They'll sometimes get off in the name of protest, but like this time they're not. And that's my whole beef with Antifa. If they like don't go around punching random people or civilians or people that's just like trying to be in the march and all that other stuff, like I wouldn't have a problem with them. But sometimes I feel like, as I say this all the time, white people just like fucking up shit.
Yeah.
So they like a group that run around wearing New Balances, wearing all black, fucking up stuff during protests.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you'll see it. It's like Antifa, like they'll fight the radical right, I guess, the real conservative motherfuckers, or you like or like the KKK, like they'll fight them. Like they're a good cause, but they just do bad shit. and I feel like whoever's running that, like, they shouldn't be so quick to like attack people unless they are provoked. Because sometimes they'll attack people, they'll attack cops and all that other stuff. Especially like, and I don't know if you National Guard, I don't know if you really been seeing them out there in the malls.
Nah,
Like, but
I never. Since you say that, I mean, I never really paid attention to it like that. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? I ain't see nobody start punching nobody because where I stand, I be having police and Capitol Police and all different police officers around me, so I never really see nothing like that. But I don't know, man. Because I mean, if they doing all that stuff, I never see them getting shot like black people getting shot. So I don't know.
no, because they being all black. Sometimes they're being all black, and I know it's weird because like in the protest you probably should spot them, but sometimes they being all black, their faces are covered, like you can't see their faces. The only reason I knew one of them was white because he was wearing all black and then he put the mask on, and then I never saw him again until like when I got home and like the Starbucks in I forgot where in DC, like they threw something in the Starbucks and like breaking shit. That's when I realized that was like Antifa shit.
My friend Lemme said
So I feel like they do good, but just in a wrong way. I don't know.
Hey, if they're not doing good, then they bad all the way. Then that's how I
But
kind of see it.
yeah,
Like if they going around punching people, people going to think about only the bad things. They're not going to think about the good things.
and that's my other problem. Is like if there's a peaceful protest. And like I said, unless you're provoked, I get it. But if you're not provoking, like I know there was I think y'all remember when Richard Spencer got punched in the face by some white dude that was in a mask? I believe that was Antifa. I could be wrong, but I believe that was Antifa that punched him in the face like that. So I don't know. That's how I feel about that. Also, have y'all heard about the whole Malik Yoba situation?
The who?
Ain't that the dude? Yeah, didn't they say like he was in the trannies or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Basically I guess like 2 weeks ago we talked about that kid that got bullied for dating a trans woman,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah.
that dude like killed himself, and then Malik Yoba, he was trying to stand up, and he was like, and he kind of like outed himself to say he's like attracted to trans women and all that other stuff. And two things popped out of it. Like there was a trans woman that they said like they knew him from back when, and he was messing with like minors, trans trans women that was minors and all that other stuff. And
Trans girls.
yeah, trans girls that was minors. It's weird. Like that shit is weird, and like he's trying like one of the transgender person like outed him like that, and also but also like his wife was like he held it from his wife and his kids, and the wife had a problem with it because she was like, "Oh, you prepared yourself and a whole meal for this, but how come you couldn't prepare this to our kids? Because the kids just found out when everybody else found out." What did y'all think about that situation?
And it's crazy too, because they're supposed to reboot New York Undercover too.
Oh yeah.
You said his family didn't find out until everybody found out.
Well, the wife kind of knew, but on the down low, but he never told the kids.
Oh, yeah, no, okay. So the weird part about it is apparently in LA they all kind of knew that he was kind of like on the low because someone was breaking that down. Like it was not a secret that he was kind of into some weird stuff, but they just never really like outed him like that. But it was known for a long time that he wasn't really just fucking with just like any old females. So it was like, but I mean, hey, if that's what he like, hey, whatever floats your boat, my man.
Also, it's like the whole thing is funny because, well, except for the whole like him having sex with like 16-year-old, like that's just wrong altogether and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But he was also saying like he doesn't consider himself gay. He likes women and all that other stuff. But like, but he's just
he just like women with the Adam's apple. That you trying to say?
yeah. So I'm like, I don't know because it's like. Like when I heard that, it reminded me of the Uganda news joint. So it's like I'm thinking to myself, so are you gay? It's like it's like who is gay?
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay? Like he says he's not gay, but to me it's like you knowing that they used to be men. So it's just like I'm I'm befuddled, but at the same time I don't feel that way. Like I've always said, if you a man and you like go through the surgery and all that stuff, you still a man to me. Like genetically and physically to me, it's like you're a dude. So I wouldn't mess with that. But he doesn't really consider himself gay like that, I guess.
Hey, on a similar, different note, y'all heard about that girl that's suing the school because she had a race with transgender girl or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Explain because I was about to spit it out, but I couldn't get the words out.
Yeah, nah. Basically, like, cause they was running track, and it's the ladies division, but
Yeah.
like one of the students transitioned. So since they transitioned and they're trying to do that whole equal opportunity thing, they put her in the women's division. And since she started her transition during the time where she was been going through puberty and shit. She basically is a woman with all of the testosterone and the uh the manly attributes that she was gifted with when she was a boy. So because of that, she's been dusting the floor in every single competition, and like parents and like the other students are mad at that because like, bruh, you used to be a dude, and now that you're trans, you still have that like physique. So it's gonna be hard to compete with that, because women are built differently, and you're not built like a woman. You still built like a grown ass man. So yeah, there was like there was definitely a line that was like muddled when she transitioned and then joined the women's division of the sport.
And now one of the students are suing the school.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I find this hilarious. And I think, like I told Father, I said, wait until it gets to basketball, and there's a 6'7", there's a 6'7" nigga that play like LeBron James, but he want to be a woman. All of a sudden, when that nigga starts scoring 80 points a game, I said, then we're going to talk about it. I'm just waiting because as much as I love track and field, it's not as big a sport as basketball. Like. It's not as big a sport as basketball, or or even softball, baseball. Like imagine if a baseball player, and he transitions over as a woman and he does softball. Like he's gonna be killing everything. Like he's gonna be very bonds.
Hey, he'll be
That nigga
coming
gonna
out
be
to the
very
plate.
bonds in this shit.
Hey, he gonna be coming to the plate just pointing out to the home run every time.
every hit's a home run for him.
Home run.
Just, he's like, this shit too easy. Like too easy. It's like, look, what Brittany Griner's like, what 6'6", and she can barely dunk. Now imagine like there's a 6'7" nigga that transition over and just dunk it all over Brittany Griner. I'm laughing. First of all, I'm definitely watching the WNBA for that. I'm sitting there. I say I might even get the nigga jersey, and I'm just sitting and I'm laughing, and I'm gonna be laughing the whole way. It just I keep telling people like it's unfair, and I can see why she's suing it because I obviously think it's unfair. But like I said, if y'all gonna keep going this way, it's going to get into like sports y'all really give a fuck about, and then now we're gonna really have that discussion.
And I always keep saying this, and I don't care if it's controversial or not, but damn it, it's the truth. People just don't fuck with the trans shit. They just don't. I don't think that. Yeah, you can acknowledge them as women and shit, but you're not gonna convince. You're not gonna convince a lot of people that these are not men. You know what I'm saying? Do what you want. More power to you. I will respect you, but you just not gonna convince the general public that trans women are not men.
And
I don't think
this
it's not that people don't understand it anymore. They're just not with it. Like that's just a no.
the way I see it, people understand it fully. I say you think you're a woman, and they're like, okay, I don't. It's like basically like Ben Shapiro. Like he called I don't know if y'all saw it, but he was like on a panel or like on something. It was like him, a dude that transitioned over to a woman, and he was like Army
I know
Ranger
what you're
or
talking
something like that. And he called and I don't care what you think about Ben Shapiro. That nigga called him a man straight to his face, and he did not like that at all. I said,
He did
but
not.
at the same time, he stood for what he believed in. He said, "I'm sorry." It's but you're not gonna tell me what you not are and all that other stuff. So
Your mama named you Bruce. I'm gonna call you Bruce.
That's the same. That's the same thing for the dude for the UFC. He was talking about this dude being transgender, and he's up for he's trying to wait to get approved so he can fight in the female division.
Kill somebody.
oh yeah, I remember that. And he was like not only beating people, like he broke one girl's nose. Like he was like fucking them up really badly. So and even then, a lot of women was like, "Bruh, it's like I know this is a physical sport, but this nigga is like really like he still got his man strength, and he can really fuck one of these women up."
Yeah.
So then you know what that brings the conversation towards. Then that means that the trans women need to have their own division one day.
I said that. I said, "Won't you let all these transgender people just run track?" It's like problem solved. And I guess since we're still on the gay news, I think we should talk about that the shop talk with Lil Nas X because I know you wanted to like touch a little bit more on that.
Yeah.
But,
God, I wish I'd
so I'm gonna let you
go.
I'm gonna let you. I really do wish he's here. I'm trying to get him back, but yeah. But you go ahead and start on that.
All right. So I actually never saw the whole thing, so I'm only going to be speaking in the context of the clip that I saw. But from the tone of what that sounded like from the clip that I saw, I think that talk was necessary. And the reason why I say that is because like the LGBT, they have a lot of pride, they want to change the perspectives about them and their sexuality and shit, which is respectable. And I think a lot of people have come a long way from the attitudes that they used to have. But you have to be able to be in spaces that are uncomfortable and not fold. You feeling what I'm saying? The fact that Kevin Hart was in there and the LGBT, like they that nigga's damn near is pretty much canceled when it comes to the LGBT. But the fact that he was on that panel was very important because he represents a side that isn't with it. You know what I'm saying? Despite what Kevin may say himself, that's just how the LGBT feels about him. They feel like he's homophobic and they feel like he doesn't really rock with gay people like that. Right? So with that being
Right.
said, the fact that he was on that panel was very important because it was important for Lil Nas X to really understand that there's not going to be people that support this shit, and you got to be able to nut up and deal with those type of people. You can't just let them walk all over you, because if you do, you know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying, like if you do and they walk all over you, like where does your pride come from? You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no pride in yourself, so how is people gonna respect you? Like watching Pose, and we talk about this show a lot because the show is that damn good. Like if you ever watched that show, you should watch that shit. In Pose, them motherfuckers get respect because like they have a lot of pride in themselves. Whenever someone in that show dare come out their mouth and call them men, they got checked. So once you got that type of power and once you got that type of clout, you are going to be challenged, and you can't just fold because nobody like you. You got to be able to nut up and you got to be able to take this shit. Black people do it. Bruh, everywhere we go in America, we're disliked. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you a black man or a black woman with like a government job or a corporate job, bruh. The amount of white people that you got to sit with, the amount of ignorance that you got to sit with, people don't understand your culture, that people don't like this little subtle shit that they be saying that is racially insensitive, but you gotta, but you can't bite back because you're gonna be the aggressor and all that shit. All those little micro aggressions that black people gotta go through. We done got to a point where, bruh, we right now we just chilling. You know what I'm saying? We could take that shit, but when it just seemed like when it comes to the LGBT, they can't handle being in spaces that's not specifically made for them or that doesn't accommodate them. And I'm not saying that that's a that's a good thing. You should accept that. But if you are ever in that type of situation, then you should be able to have the means to defend yourself or defend your shit. Because because everybody goes through that. Hell, we can even bring that to white people. White people get checked all the damn time nowadays, whether it be LGBT, whether it be the POC, whether it be black folk, the straight white men that be in their own spaces and like go out, they get challenged as a motherfucker because they sitting pretty with that privilege. So of course they're gonna be challenged. They get it. They get that shit all the time. So the fact that Kevin Hart did that to Lil Nas X, or Lil Nas X was in a panel full of old school people that wasn't really messing with it like that, or like wasn't as fully accepting as people expect you to be nowadays, that was a good thing. That means Lil Nas X could level up from that conversation. That means you know what I'm saying? That conversation made him stronger. That conversation made him a bit more buck. So now when someone come in talking crazy or talking sideways, he can check that motherfucker. Cause at least he wasn't with like white conservatives. Then y'all would really be mad. You better be glad it was Kevin Hart and them, because at least with Kevin Hart and them, they still black men. He can still talk to them as black men. But since the conversation was about him coming out being gay at the not like at the height, but like when he has all this clout, they was trying to have a conversation on some black man shit. And you know how black men are when we have like deep hearted conversations, we're unfiltered. We gonna say whatever the fuck is
Right.
on our minds, whether it's transphobic, homophobic, whatever. We gonna use slurs. That's just the way we talk. We don't sugarcoat shit. So I just felt like it was important that we at least got that out the way, because a lot of people, I've read a lot of responses about, oh my God, Kevin Hart's gaslighting. He's so homophobic, and I'm like, that's the point. That's why he was in that panel, because he brings that perspective. He brings that perspective of that dude that's not like fully 100% for it. He don't hate gay people, but his attitudes towards certain topics and certain things when it comes to gay people isn't as accepting as y'all would want him to be. So if that's the case, having a conversation with that brother ain't gonna kill you. If he don't agree, then hang with people that do agree. It ain't that much of an issue for you to be popping off and being offended just for the sake of being offended. That's all I got to say on that, pretty much.
Okay. Tony, you want to go or uh?
I didn't see the video. I seen it on Facebook, but I ain't see it. I'm just listening to y'all right now on it, and I might just check it out when I get home.
Okay. From the same clip, because I didn't watch the whole thing, but from the clip I saw, I said I didn't even need to. First off, I didn't need. I wish Xavier was here, but I didn't even need to watch the whole show. And I get what Xavier was talking about. That boy did not know how to defend himself. And let me tell you this, straight or gay, when you're in a room full of older black men, that's intimidating in itself. All right, because
Yeah.
especially like you get them old heads that's like, oh, I already been through what you've been through, young blood, and all that other stuff. You don't know what you talk about. Oh, you haven't been there and all that other stuff. So, like, you know, like even though you know they did been there, there's stuff that they like you could even teach them. I feel like Lil Nas X was in that position where he can teach, he just didn't know how. I don't even think he was like
But
ready
Yeah.
for that question.
but then on another note, he rarely talks, and a lot of that stuff comes, talking out in public or in front of camera, and being him so young, yeah, like you say, he's being intimidated by an older black crowd. But first of all, this coming just talking. Period. A lot of people can't. Yeah, if you, I mean, saying it like this is like a lot of people, as far as me, you can't. I mean, you can't talk out in the public. You may be nervous of how you're going to say it may come out wrong. And being that he just, he started blowing up different from like, year ago when he was in his mom's basement. So now he talking on stage, telling his feelings could be different and hard.
And I agree with you because sometimes like I use, but it's probably because I'm used to hanging around old heads a lot. That some I don't mind speaking my opinion, like, but at the same time, I do give the old heads the respect I that they deserve, from and they give it to me back. But at the same time, and I read the comments too a lot, and a lot of you can tell a lot of people that was like not liking Kevin Hart, as you said, especially when he said why. First of all, um, and like this is going to be the honest, or at least I'm speaking for myself. And I said this. I said coming out as gay in 2019, even though like you're not fully, everybody's more accepting now. Not like it was like 20 years ago, and damn sure not like it was 50 years ago. All right, and like coming out now is like you getting a bunch of support. Like people will
Yeah,
support
niggas
you.
get clout from that.
Yeah, you get clout from that. Um, Like, and you not only you get clout, you get people supporting and all that other stuff. You get people tell you how brave you are. Now, this is me, and you can say I'm straight explaining or whatever. But like coming out now is not is to me it's not that big as coming out like 20 years ago. And so when Kevin Hart said that he's gay, so what? That's how most straight people feel. It was like, okay, you gay, so what? So what? Live your truth, like I always said. I can understand. And to me, I've always been the type of guy that's like, if these people don't fuck with you, all right, that's cool. Find somebody that fuck with you. Like you know,
Exactly.
and that's how. And to me, that's how black men are. All right, if them niggas don't fuck with me, all right, I'm gonna go be around niggas that fuck with me. It's like black men don't usually be around niggas that are fake, unless
Yeah.
like we have to work with them. Like, and we'll tell you, and like we'll tell. Sometimes we'll even tell you, I don't fuck with you, nigga. Like I don't like your kind.
Yeah.
Like straight or gay, it's like I don't fuck with you. Another thing, when Kevin Hart said why, and I see this as a platform of you explaining your trials and tribulation through the whole world. So you going, you already know, bro. Okay, he probably does, but there's people that is watching the show that don't know. You can give your opinion out. And now I get it. He looked like he wasn't ready for the question, but at the same time, like I feel like you've been asked this. I'm pretty sure you've been like you should have known like this was coming. Like remember like the conversation me and Brandon had about the whole slavery thing.
Yeah.
Like I knew that conversation was going to happen. I just didn't know when. But I was like, I was prepared for it. So, um, I feel like Lil Nas X, he had the perfect chance and the platform to explain it. Also, you know how they said nobody talks about homosexuality in the black community. There you go,
There
right
we
there.
go. We
They
talking
opened
about
the
it. Let's
door,
talk about it then.
and they opened the door. Not only like they asked you the question, they opened the door up. That could have like you could have like went through so many ways. You could have talked about this in so many ways. Talk about the how gay people be treated in the black community and all that other stuff. How you feel like I feel like he dropped, and this is just me. I feel like he dropped the ball and all that other stuff. Like, oh, y'all want to talk about homosexuality? The straight man just brought it up. Now what? Like speak your truth. Go ahead, speak it.
We
And he
listening.
didn't do it.
We listening. Like
We're listening. And that's how, and like I said, most black men, like, if a problem needs to be handled, we'll handle it. You sit there and we'll talk. They're like, all right, what's the matter? And you're all like, sometimes he's like, bro, you ain't even got your shit together. So he go explain to me the problem. So yeah, he did look befuddled, but like I said, like being with a bunch of black men is intimidating. But at the same time, you gotta fight that.
especially
You
you
gotta
being a black man yourself. Being gay ain't an excuse because you still a
and
black
being a
man at the end of the day.
and you being a representative of the LGBT community. Like I can understand you're not what's his name? The guy that DeAndre McCutton, the dude that was doing Black Lives Matter. I can understand you're not him. I can understand you're not a Billy Porter, not even a
DeRay
RuPaul.
McKesson, yeah. DeRay,
DeRay McCutton, D-Ray.
yeah,
Like the people who probably talk for a living, they probably have a set answer and everything. Like you just an artist, and I know most artists are not well trained when it comes to like PR and media shit, especially this generation, because a lot of them they can't talk shit. So I feel like he could have definitely opened the door for that, but he didn't. He didn't do a good job doing it.
right.
So, and a lot of people getting on Kevin Hart, and that shit, I don't know. I think probably because the whole no stop that's gay joke and all that other stuff. I think people just I think people just picking on Kevin Hart just to pick on Kevin Hart, or like they're trying to cancel him and all that other stuff. But to me, like most dudes are going to be like that. Why do you feel like that? Why? And like to me, you saying, "Oh, it's not a good answer." It's like, no, explain, and that's how most men are. No, explain it. Like, why do you feel that way? And I'm not, and yeah, like me, a person like me, I'm like, I'm not taking just because. It's like, no, you're gonna explain this shit.
Yeah, like if we gonna talk about it, all right, let's talk. And your boy Lil Nas X wasn't prepared to have that type of conversation. Even though, like, I just got done explaining that, this was a chance for him to really level up. You know what I'm saying? Like, despite him dropping the ball, he leveled up from it. Now he kind of have a blueprint of what to expect when he's trying to explain himself or trying to articulate himself. You feel what I'm saying? Because if we like I said, if he went off to another platform where they was interviewing him and it's nothing but white folks that don't fucking understand him, he would have got eaten. He would have got eaten alive. You understand? And we don't want to
Mm-hmm.
see that. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see like anyone in our community, gay or straight, getting eat up by these white folks because they can't explain themselves. You feel me? So I'd rather you be uncomfortable with dudes who you feel don't fuck with you to explain why you did the things you did than a white person that really don't understand the shit, and all of a sudden you got a dumbass headline about you like not explaining what you meant. Because you know how these public media publications are. They will twist the fuck out of your words in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So use what you learned from this conversation that you had and use this to really level up how you say things and how you articulate what you're trying to say. Because despite all the work that, despite all the progress that we done had, there's still people that don't understand, and there's still people that don't fuck with it. You got to know the difference, and you got to know who you gonna fuck with and who you not gonna fuck with.
All right, Tony, for what you hear, what you thought, what you think?
Hey, honestly, yo, I just left. It's probably like 10 minutes. My bad.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's
hey, because I'm still working and shit.
I know, I can see the connection is like really, really wonky over there.
Yeah. That's why, like, when I'm not talking, I'll just take the mic over 'cause I don't want y'all to hear all the other stuff in the background and shit.
That's cool. Fuad, any last word before we move on to our last topic?
Um, I hope you gain some EXP like them RPGs, and I hope you can level up even more from here. Cause I like Lil Nas X. I'm pretty sure you like Lil Nas X too, Ray. I like the brother,
Yeah, I like him. I
but
like the brother.
just sometimes it's just not as evil as you make motherfuckers out to be as you think. And I'm talking to like the fucking, I'm talking to like the fucking Shea Butter Twitter that was all over Kevin Hart and them niggas trying to reach like they usually do about some shit that they didn't even really understand. Because the fact that they defaulted to that just conclusion, y'all don't understand. And I get the fact that there's gay kids that still get kicked out from their parents, and I understand that the black community is still got a lot to do when it comes to gay people. But at the same time, if slow progress is better than no progress at all.
This okay. I've always had this theory because you know how this like it's about black men, the homosexuality community, that we don't really fuck with it, and I've always said it's not that we don't fuck with it. We're just looking at it as like, nah, I'm good. I always thought we looked at it as nah, like we acknowledge it, and sometimes um like yeah, like in Poe, you have a basically a room, like there's a space where y'all can just be whatever y'all want and all the other stuff. I think people acknowledges that. Like there's like places in like let's say San Francisco, like that's known for having like a big LGBT community and all that other stuff. So it's like we know it exists. It's just over there,
Yeah,
and like we've always said, like when I feel like with black men, it's just we're obvious. Like we don't really fuck with that shit. But now for the people that like get beat up for it, we don't accept that either. Like we feel
yeah,
like you should live. I always said black men feel like you should live your lives. Now if them niggas beat you up because you gay, we'll be like that's wrong. But we also feel like you as men, you should be able to fight back too. Because y'all, to me, y'all still men, and even when they come at you wrong, like they disrespect y'all as even if they disrespect y'all as gay men, like you fighting back, that's still like a man reaction to me. Like like you hear Xavier's stories, like Xavier like basically had to. I'm pretty sure Xavier had to fight most of his life, but I
yeah,
still feel like that's his passage of a man, and he has to fight what he believes in it. Now, like the alpha male and all that other shit, I feel like a lot of people like we always look at it logically, and we'll tell you we'll fuck with it, and I feel like you have to really convince us to like really like change our thoughts, at least from the male community. We're not so easily influenced, and that's how I always felt about what black people how black people felt about the LGBT community. And okay, on to the last topic. How do y'all feel about y'all know about Jay-Z and the whole single fathers quote?
I do not.
See, I gotta look for it myself because it was out of that and Mac Miller, and I know you don't really want to talk about Mac Miller.
Damn, where's Kayla too? Mac Miller. Phew.
Yeah, like I said, I sent the invite to everybody, but sometimes I don't get it. We don't get it back. So let me find what he says. Because I know there's some people that's getting on him, and I'm trying to find a quote. Because all I'm finding is like people going to get, and this is why I hate like searching for shit. Because like you get people's like retort, but you don't really get what he said. Let me see. Uh, okay, here's some. Jay-Z says growing up a single parent household caused people to have an adverse feeling towards authority, which causes them to tell police "fuck you," resulting in interactions that could cost people's lives. And added that he doesn't want those who are policing certain areas to be in danger, and that those who commit crimes should be in prison. Um,
In prison because they ain't got like a father figure or whatever.
I mean, if they like, I think what he was saying is like, if they do a crime, they should do the time.
Uh,
Like I said, I'm just like I'm trying to look for the quote.
and that's from
But
because I remember because I know apparently he was doing some like partnership with with All Lives Matter advocacy group, and I saw something about them cutting dreads off a little boy.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that, but I ain't see like a quote. That's why I was like confused.
Um, I don't, the way I see it, he was like most kids, because it's basically about having a father figure in your life, and like most he was talking about most people that grow up single parents. It's like they don't where they find that father figures is it's either in the streets or in rap lyrics or your drug dealers and all that other stuff, and like so a lot of them, since they're doing crime, like they like they're all fuck the police and all that other shit, and like sometimes even if I don't want to like misquote him, so I'm like going up. But it's like even if they did something wrong, they still like fuck you to the cops or some shit like that. But it's like I think he's saying how like most kids that grew up in single fathers, they like have a different view of police or something like that. Uh, you understand what I'm saying? I'm still trying to look for the quote.
Because they ain't got like a father figure. They turn to the streets to find that father figure, and rap music lyrics raise them, or some shit. Because that's like what I got from like what you read.
Hey, I fucking had this quote too. I like I said, going through this is like sometimes going through this is just like really, really because I'm really trying to like get what he was trying to say. Because like some of it, and it's I think it was in a rap lyric too. Because it was like the one I'm seeing is like we were kids with our fathers, so we found our fathers on wax and on the streets, and in history, and in a way that was a gift. We got to pick and choose the ancestor who inspired the world we were going to make for ourselves. Like I'm saying that about that, and then like I'm saying stuff to like
Hmm.
yeah. on parenthood and all that. He basically giving his uh shit on parenthood.
I mean, which is valid because he got 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? He also grew up in it. Like the nigga had to sell crack. You know what I'm saying? The nigga sold crack. He wasn't exactly in a place where economic stability was a thing. So he like I think his views on it is very valid. You know what I'm saying? I do think he has a point, and I do think that what he's saying could have a lot of validity in it. But at the same time, different folks, different strokes. You know what I'm saying? If you don't say something that don't accommodate the people that are a lot of people that are listening, then you're gonna get misquoted, you're gonna get misunderstood, and there's a lot of people that's going, try you. Just like I was explaining with Lil Nas X, you just gonna have people that's gonna try you. It don't matter who you are, especially if you believe a certain thing. People going.
I believe, yeah. I think, like I said, I think that's a passage of manhood in itself. And I tell like people younger than me is niggas is gonna try you, like either like what you stand for, your preference, or just because they don't like you. Like niggas will try you, and they will.
He's gonna try.
Niggas is gonna try, and I'm pretty sure like women goes through this, but I know like speaking from a man's point of view, it's like I've been tried, and every time I've been tried, I felt like I stood up, I came up to the plate. Like if you gonna try me, like you gonna see what I'm about, and and what you do after that. Sometimes niggas will honestly like. I think that's just bullying in a nutshell. Because usually when you stand up to a bully, the bully stops bullying you, and most of that. So I'm a, but yeah, I'm a go ahead go on a different topic there because I really can't find much. I swear to God, it was here, and then next thing you know, like I don't see it no more. Like I think Jay Z himself like got rid of that himself.
He took it back. He
Um,
took back what he said.
not even took back what he said. It's just like anybody that took like tried to write an article about him, it's like delete it. But because all I see is like people like going against him what he said, and I'm like, and I really can't find what the fuck he was saying. So let me go to the other topic that I was. Since 2019 is about to wrap up, I wanted y'all to like have your thoughts about this decade in a nutshell. Well, like, what do y'all think about this decade in a nutshell?
Niggas is sensitive and bitch made. That's what I think about this fucking decade in a nutshell. I've done seen a whole bunch of people just, I mean, bruh, like, just people just sensitive, bruh. I ain't never even really seen it this bad. And the reason why I say that is because, like, obviously there's shit that's offensive. Like, no one's denying that.
Mm-hmm.
But to take it to the point where now people just can't talk about certain shit because you're gonna get triggered. We're having triggered warnings for like rape and shit like that. When back in the days there wasn't no trigger warnings. If it was in there, it was in there and it was raw and you was gonna see it because it provoked thought. It made sure that people was aware of the brutality of these things. But I just feel like nowadays motherfuckers are like trying to accommodate feelings. And like I remember Ben Shapiro saying facts don't care about your feelings. And despite what he may think, despite his, fucking political views and shit like that, that's the goddamn truth. You feel me? Just
Mm-hmm.
you can't disregard what somebody tells you just because you simply don't like them or you don't agree. I hate that I can't have conversations with certain people because they don't agree with me, and then I'm on their block list because I done said something that they didn't like. Like that is like the most bitch ass shit to me. So I don't have a lot of respect for people who do that, because if you going to have a conversation about a certain topic, you should be able to hang with the best of them. You feeling what I'm saying? Or not even that. Let me put it this way: you should be able to hold your own weight. You feeling what I'm saying? If I come and I challenge your viewpoint right now and you block me, I'm taking that as a W. I'm not taking that as you. Oh, I need to protect my mental health. No, you wasn't ready for the conversation. If we're gonna talk about men being trash, or if we're gonna talk about systematic racism, or if we're gonna talk about certain things that women go through, we can talk about these things. But if you just gonna shut down and be triggered when somebody says something you don't like, was you even really ready for that conversation in the first place? Because as soon as you get emotional, you know what I'm saying, it's hard to hear your point. It really is. Like, we don't have plenty of conversations with other people that just they get emotional, and then all of a sudden we can't even really talk about this shit anymore, because all they just doing now is just projecting. Is just not even projecting, but like they what they like to do is they like to put words in your mouth, and put things in perspective that you didn't put in there in the first place. And it's like, bro, that's not what I said. That's not what I meant. If you actually gave me the time to explain what I was trying to tell you, and I've had to explain this many a times, especially with people that lean left. And I'm not even a motherfucker that leans right. I don't lean left or right. Both the motherfuckers can suck my dick. But like, to have conversations with both those people, especially, it's so hard. Both of them don't listen to your point. Both sides don't listen. They just don't listen. They're always putting words in your mouth. They always got some stupid ass fucking rebuttal that doesn't even have anything to do with the topic that's being talked about in the first place. Just you can't have certain conversations with certain people in this decade, and this decade really proved that, because everybody want to be accommodating of everyone's feelings, and because of that, niggas can't have real conversations about shit anymore. We can talk about LGBT, but when we do, oh, you're homophobic. We can talk about if you don't subscribe to a certain viewpoint. We can talk about black trans women dying, but if we try to explain that, yes, that's a huge issue, but there's just a lot of people that don't mess with that kind of stuff. Oh, we're transphobic. Oh, I don't want to date no trans. I don't want to date a trans woman because I would like my woman to be cisgendered. Oh, you're transphobic. We can't have certain conversations. We just can't. And it's not on us, the people that don't the people that aren't trying to hear it. It's mostly on the people that bring it up in the first place. Because I know you remember when Bill Cosby was a thing, and whenever you had an opinion that was different from people that thought he was guilty, you a rape apologist and you trash. Like it just made no sense. And I feel like that's what like this decade was all about. You know what I'm saying? We went from having actual conversations and really trying to understand people, and then when shit is changing, we can have those conversations and people actually listen to each other, to just bitch ass niggas that just fucking sensitive about everything. Woe is me. I'm non-binary, trans, or whatever. Live your life. But if somebody is asking you questions, you better nut up. Because if a nigga trying to understand, but you over there calling him a whole bunch of names because he done say something that you didn't like, what is you doing? Where you at? Oh God, his connection.
My bad. I had to deal with something.
Oh,
But I heard everything you said though.
all right.
And Okay, I've always said because let me get myself together now. I've always believed that this generation is soft. Now, there are a lot of people that don't feel like this generation is soft, but I do. Now, I tell people like it's times where like when I give my opinion and I know it's not the most popular opinion, or like there's sometimes where I will agree with Trump. Like, and I don't agree with Trump all the time, nor do I support Trump. But I have to tell people like even though I might think he's right, I have to tell people I don't support Trump, but he has a point sometimes. Or like if anything, like the whole Bill Cosby thing. Like I don't know how many times conversations with women and I don't know how many conversations I've had with women giving my opinion that I don't think he raped them. And I tell people all the time, I don't think he raped them. You know, it's her. I think he had consensual sex and I think they was for it. Like I've had backlash to that. And I've seen people like, even if you like do give your opponent, they call you homophobic, transphobic, and all that other stuff without even hearing you out.
Yeah.
Like they're just ready to call you homophobic and all that other stuff, and then even come at them as logical as you can. Some people like they'll still call you like you can come as logical as you can. Some people won't listen to you. They'll still have their opinion and all that other stuff. I going into 2020, I hope we have more open conversations. And then that's like one of the reasons why I like doing this podcast. I feel like we have open conversations. I feel like all of us are honest. Like we debate each other. Like I don't mind admitting I'm wrong, especially if I'm not um well knowledge in that. But I know if I'm well knowledge with that, I'm coming with receipts and facts and like I'm checking and all that. I know a lot of people, they give emotional opinions, and emotional opinions are good, but if it's too emotional and not logical, like other sometimes like it's gonna falter. So and it's okay to have emotion. Like even in like some debates, it will get emotional as long as it doesn't go to name calling and you calling people a moron and all that other stuff. But like I'm not gonna lie, there's people even in the conversations I'm winning, I've called people morons and all that other stuff. So like I had to learn to make sure like I've done check people and like a lot of people. There's a dude on my Facebook. I won't say his name. Very like he's very right wing Trump support. Now most of my friends in the Navy, and I love them to death, do not like Obama, and I don't care. I told them that I don't care. You like you can like that's cool with me. Like we still hang out, we still drink beers and all that other stuff and all that. Like some of these and like even with him, like he's not a bad guy, but I could tell like his traits. And I tell people it's not the fact that you like Trump, and I told him this. It's not the fact that you like Trump. It's the fact that you start stuff, and this is another pet peeve of mine. How you gonna start stuff and you not finishing it? You waiting for other people to like fight your battles. So now I'm fighting. So like I'm arguing with someone that even though what I have receipts, I'm having a conversation with someone I should have with you, and these other people want to jump in. And then like I have to not only that I have to sun you, I gotta sun them. And I told him about yourself, and I told his friends. I'm like, one of them. I said, "This is what," and I told him, "Here, this was going to happen. We're going to have a debate." Before I even like got to stuff, I said, "We're going to have a debate. He's going to chime in with this little years and instigate the whole thing, while he just sits back and he doesn't have no information." Every time when I ask him, because it's like it's okay, like you and I will have a debate at different time. Yeah. Okay. Um. Every time when like we get into a debate, he hides behind the people, and then he never says nothing but a couple to and tell people you brainwashed, but never explain why you brainwashed. So like, and there's a lot of people like that, and I hate that. So like, I hope we leave that behind in 2019 and 2020. Like more open conversations. Like to me, this generation sucked. I feel like I said, I feel like we have gotten soft, and I feel like no one is really listening to each other. So for my whole thing about 2020 is I want people to like have more open conversations. Um, and I want shit to be handled on the spot, not no, um, not like let shit fester. Then next thing you know, it blows up on you. Like if you have a problem, let me know. Like let me not find out through someone else that you have a problem. Like we're all adults. We should be able to talk to each other like adults.
Right.
So, um, that's gonna be my last talk. I gotta go. I'm like people. Like I told people, I'm dog sitting, so I gotta go walk. I gotta go walk champ. Since it's only us,
Um, I hope South Africa gets it the fuck together, and we really cannot be affording to fight each other right now. We really can't get it the fuck together. And another thing I want to say is stop being bitch made. That's all I got to say.
okay, and I'm gonna just leave it this, and this is white people. Every time we miss and you want to bring up world slavery, and this is going to people in America. I'm talking to the people in America. Every time when black people bring up slavery and stuff, you know we're talking about American slavery. You bringing up world slavery only depicts the argument. And and I know half of y'all that, well, all of y'all that brings up like American, like slavery that's been around, or they tell you slavery is still going on in some African countries. The next person that tells me that, I'm gonna ask them, what are you doing about that? And if you have no opinion about it, or you're not doing anything about it, I'm gonna just like expose you out there. Don't please, when a black person is talking about slavery and all that other stuff, it's like, you know, we're talking about American slavery. Like y'all like deflecting it to the world. It's just proof that y'all knew that one, American slavery was the worst type of slavery, and two, that the history of America is not as good as y'all make it to be. Because you know damn well, like especially from growing up black in America in all those years, we had to like fight for everything. We had to fight for our humanity. We had to fight for property. We had to fight to have our own businesses. Like we're still fighting. That's the one thing I'm gonna tell you. We're still fighting, and y'all see this now. Some of y'all recognize this, but y'all not doing anything about it, which is like another pet peeve of mine. If y'all not doing anything about it, and y'all just recognize how fucked up it is. Y'all, to me, y'all, and this is just me personally. To me, y'all's just as bad as people were saying as the racists, because y'all not doing anything about it to make black people's lives better. Now, I'm not asking for handouts or like, and black people are not even like trying to be better. All we is like asking is for to be on an equal plane as everyone else, and for you to ignore that, it proves like what people was talking about with white supremacy and all the other like everything else, like all the pro blacks, the whole tabs, and even just people that just knowledgeable in black history. Like like for our entire history, we're fighting, and you know that any like in most other countries, like people don't even like black people like that. Now there's people that's probably like you if you're American, but as far as you being black, though, I know there's a lot of countries that don't even like black people. So that's all I got to say about that. And on that note, I'd like to thank everybody that came through. And this is, you know what? Let me just say podcast. I got to go. Peace.